You know that feeling when you check your bank account at the end of the month and wonder where every single dollar went? You worked hard, you sacrificed, you told yourself this month would be different. And yet somehow, the numbers never seem to grow the way you imagined they would. That feeling is not weakness. That feeling is not failure. That feeling is what happens when nobody ever sat you down and taught you the actual rules of money. And here is the thing that nobody talks about. Those rules exist. They are real. They work. And the people quietly building wealth right now are not smarter than you. They are not luckier than you. They simply know something you have not been shown yet, so let me show you. Right now, there are people from every possible background. People who started with almost nothing. People who are drowning in financial stress. People who thought investing was only for the wealthy, who completely transformed how their money behaves. Not through gambling, not through overnight schemes, through simple, consistent, deeply powerful habits that compound over time. And before we go any further, if you are serious about accelerating this process and want to go deeper than we can cover in one video, we have related programs linked down below in the video description that take everything you are about to learn and multiply it. The people who have gone through them are not waiting and wondering anymore. They are watching their money work for them. Do not let the knowledge gap stay open any longer than it already has. Now let us talk about the real pain first, because I want you to feel seen right now. Imagine waking up on a random Tuesday morning and realizing that if you lost your income tomorrow, you could not survive for more than a few weeks. Not a few years, not a few months, a few weeks. That realization hits differently at 2 in the morning when the house is quiet and the anxiety is loud. You start running the numbers in your head. You think about everything you have spent over the last 5 years. The takeout, the subscriptions you forgot to cancel. The moments where money just slipped through your fingers like water. And somewhere in the middle of all that mental math, a darker thought creeps in. What if it is too late? What if other people just got a head start that you can never close? Stop right there. Because that thought is the single most expensive lie that exists, and it is costing people everything. Here is what actually happens when you do not start investing with intention. Every single day that your money sits in a regular savings account earning basically nothing, inflation is eating it alive. Not dramatically, not all at once, slowly, like a slow leak in a tire. You do not notice it until you are completely flat on the side of the road. The purchasing power of your money shrinks quietly every year while the cost of living moves in the opposite direction. And 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that gap between where you are and where you could have been becomes a chasm so wide that looking across it becomes genuinely painful. But here is where the story changes completely. The moment you start understanding how compound growth actually works, everything shifts. Picture a single dollar that grows at a consistent rate. Nothing dramatic, nothing speculative, just steady, intentional growth. That dollar does not just become $2. It becomes a machine that makes more machines. Because you are not just earning on what you put in, you are earning on what your earnings earn. And then you are earning on that. The curve starts slow, almost disappointingly slow, and then it bends upwards so sharply that it looks almost unreal. This is not a theory. This is math. This is one of the most proven forces in all of personal finance, and most people never experience it because they never start. Now let us get into the actual habits, the ones that quietly separate the people who build wealth from the people who stay stuck. Habit 1. Pay yourself first and do it automatically. This is not about willpower. Willpower runs out. Automation does not. Before any bill, before any spending, a fixed portion of every dollar you receive should move directly into an investment vehicle. Not after you see what is left. First. Because when you pay everything else first and invest what remains is almost always nothing. The psychological shift that happens when you flip this sequence is enormous. Suddenly your lifestyle adjusts around your investment, not the other way around. Habit 2. Invest consistently regardless of what the market is doing. This one feels counterintuitive at first. When markets drop, every instinct screams to stop, to wait, to pull back. But the people who have studied this deeply, the ones who manage billions of dollars in assets for institutions around the world, they know something critical. Down markets are not catastrophes for long-term investors. They are opportunities. When prices fall and you keep buying, you are buying more for the same amount of money. And when the market recovers, and historically it always has, the people who stayed consistent come out dramatically ahead of those who panicked. Habit 3. Diversify without overcomplicating it. People hear diversification and immediately imagine complex portfolios with dozens of moving parts. It does not need to be complicated. The core principle is simple. Do not put everything in one place. Spread your investments across different types of assets so that when one area struggles, others carry the weight. Think of it like building a house with multiple load-bearing walls instead of just one. The structure is infinitely more stable. Habit 4. Understand the cost of delay with brutal honesty. Let us make this real for a moment. Imagine two people. One starts investing a modest amount consistently 10 years earlier than the other. The second person invests more per month trying to catch up. In most projections, the person who started earlier still ends up with significantly more, not because they were smarter or tried harder, because time was on their side. Every month you wait is a month of compounding you never get back. The cost of inaction is not visible today. It appears 10 years from now as a number that makes you wish you had started sooner. Habit 5. Continuously educate yourself and act on what you learn. Knowledge without action is just expensive entertainment. The investors who consistently grow their wealth are not the ones who know the most. They are the ones who know enough and move. They refine their approach over time. They course correct without panic. They treat their financial education as a living, breathing practice rather than a one-time event. And this brings up something important. The people who struggle most with money rarely lack intelligence. They lack the right frameworks at the right time. And frameworks once given to you change everything. Here is something powerful to sit with. The difference between someone living paycheck to paycheck and someone watching passive income grow while they sleep is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even starting capital in most cases. It is knowledge applied consistently over time. The tools that wealthy people use to grow money have been studied, documented, tested, and refined for decades by people who have dedicated their careers to understanding exactly how this works. And that information does not have to stay locked behind a wall you cannot access. You deserve to understand this. You deserve to have your money working while you sleep instead of you working yourself into exhaustion every single day just to stay afloat. The cost of not knowing is measured in years of your life spent grinding without building. The return on finally knowing is measured in freedom, stability, and options that most people only dream about. If you are genuinely ready to close the gap between where you are financially and where you actually want to be, the programs linked in the video description below are built for exactly this moment. Not for people who are already wealthy and comfortable. For people who are serious about changing the trajectory of their financial life starting now. Every day you wait is a day someone else is compounding. Every week that passes is a week of growth that never comes back. The people who will look back in 5 years with complete clarity and zero regret are the ones who decided today, not someday, not eventually, but today, that their financial future was worth taking seriously. That link is right there below this video. Do not let this be another moment of good intention that never becomes action.